working with the local church to take the hope of Christ to every student in the United States. This is First Priority. Now here are your hosts, Steve Chirico and Brad Skelling.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the First Priority Podcast. I'm glad that you're here listening in again today. I have the privilege of sitting with, I think, one of our more famous teacher sponsors. We just met Lisa, but we're sitting with a teacher again. We're talking all about teacher sponsors this month. And we have Lisa from Shreveport joining us today. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you very much.
Introduce yourself a little bit, if you would. Tell a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you are, and maybe a hobby or interests, things of that nature.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa Elliott. I am a teacher at Uri Drive Middle School in Shreveport, Louisiana. The hobbies, reading, I guess the regular teacher stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, training my dog is one of my new things that I'm doing.
Nice.
So
That's always fun. We just got a new dog ourselves, so
awesome.
I understand. Yeah. What classes do you teach at school?
I am a special education inclusion teacher, so I work with all grades.
Okay.
Primarily this year, I'm working with 7th grade.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. That sounds like a lot of fun. How long have you done that?
Oh, this is my 22nd year to be a teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 3 more years.
not that you're counting, but
Not
yes.
No, actually, I love it. I really do love what I do. And middle school is my favorite.
Okay.
Most people don't seem to like middle school. I like their quirky personalities. They're a lot of fun.
Nice. I was going to ask you, what do you love most about the middle schoolers? But
it's the kids. Honestly, I know everybody says the kids with being a teacher. They're like, well, why do you do it? Because the kids, I love the kids. They're my favorite part of my job.
That's awesome. We didn't talk about this beforehand, but how has teaching been the past little bit? What things have changed? What things are going better? What things are a little bit more of a struggle recently?
Since COVID, it's been really hard because a lot of our kids didn't get a lot of foundational skills and they're struggling. And a lot of them have had a lot behavior problems because with our kids that we had here, they were virtual during COVID and a lot of them don't have a lot of home support. So they were left to raise themselves, and trying to get them back into a classroom setting has been difficult. But it's just taken a little bit. They're just having to get used to things again.
I was going to say, are they making that transition now? It's been a few years, or
it has been, but this is still the group that we have now. They were the ones that were pretty young when it happened, so they're still struggling. And like I said, they lost a lot of foundational skills. So with the kids that I work with, they're 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, but they could be on like a 2nd or 3rd grade level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
It is.
Yeah, we move past very quickly as adults, don't we?
Absolutely.
And just keep right on it going. But yeah, the adolescents, the people that were affected the most were those kids in elementary school.
They really were. And then and there's so much emotional stuff that goes on with the middle schoolers. They struggle with a lot with social media and everything. There's a lot going on for them.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your First Priority history a little bit. So you mentioned to me you've been there, you've come back.
Yeah, let's see. I did First Priority probably for about 4 years, several years ago when I was at Uri. And actually, I was at Uri, then I left to be a school counselor. And then the principal called and asked me to come back and to be a teacher again. So I came back, and then about 2 years, this is my 2nd year, my principal and I were talking about what we need at the school because, like I said, a lot of behavior issues. And I said, I know what we need. We need Jesus. And so I told her that I used to be a sponsor for First Priority and wanted to know if she'd mind if I started it again. And I reached out to Michael, and we were able to start the club at Uri.
Wow, that's awesome.
It really is. It's been great. It's grown from our first meeting to only having a couple of kids to now we probably on a regular basis have about 30 to 35.
Wow.
So
That's very cool.
yeah,
That's very
it's
cool.
awesome.
What's been the most fun thing that you've seen, or what's the best story that you've?
Oh, I don't know the best story, but recently we were doing our testing, our state standardized testing,
Okay.
and the kids were talking about our end of the year celebration that we're going to have for First Priority. And one of the kids was like, I don't know if I know what that is. Little girl goes, it's free church. We get free church every Wednesday. It's really cool. We get to learn about Jesus every Wednesday. And I was like, well, that's awesome.
That's a great description. First
I thought,
priority.
I thought that was awesome. And that was
Yes, it
coming from
is.
my kids' point of view. So I was like, well, that's good to know what they're thinking.
Out of the mouths of babes, right?
Absolutely. And then a little girl came to me this year at the beginning of the year. She was in First Priority last year, excuse me, and she accepted Christ this year. So it was
Wow.
really neat. That was neat. And I got to pray with her and everything. So that was a really neat
Wow.
experience.
Those experiences will last a lifetime, won't they?
She was telling me that she doesn't get to go to church, and her
Hmm.
parents wouldn't buy her a Bible. So I was able to go and find her a Bible, a
Wow.
teenager's Bible. So we got her that, and she's come to me a couple of times asking me questions about it.
Hmm.
So it's been pretty cool.
That is cool. It's yeah. I talk about it often. The greatest mission field, and you know, you hear on TV, you talk about Christianity in America and our history and the founding fathers and whatever, but what gets lost in that is this generation of students that's not getting raised in a Christian home. They don't have
Yeah,
access to a Bible. Um,
absolutely.
and hearing stories like that is just so encouraging that it does happen on a regular basis in a first priority setting.
Oh yeah, and I know with being First Priority, and I don't just do stuff at First Priority. Um, I have kids. I'm lucky to have a classroom setting to where it's empty for most of the day, and I try to keep food in my room.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so I know kids come to school hungry, and they can just quietly come into my room. I let them sit there, and I'll give them maybe a pack of Pop Tarts or something. And it's just
Yeah.
simple stuff. Like a little boy today, he was thirsty, and I could tell he'd been outside, and he was really hot. And he was
Mm.
all I need is a bottle of water. And so he knows I keep that stuff in my room. So I mean, this is simple stuff, and that's to me where I guess I said the rubber hits the road when they
Yeah.
see you doing stuff like that.
That's right.
It's not just at First Priority on a Wednesday morning. It's throughout the day. They watch me,
Yep.
they,
Yeah.
they're constantly watching to see what I'm doing, to see if I live what I'm saying. So,
That's right. That's right. Those kids know. They know who's a Christian, who calls themselves Christian, and who's living out their faith in the school and really cares. So thank you for who you are and what you
absolutely.
do.
Well, thank you. But yeah, that also keeps me on my toes because there's days when I want to lose my cool, and I'm like, would not be a good witness. So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
If we're confessing, that's why I don't have a cross on the bumper of my car.
Amen to that one.
Oh, well, that may have answered the next question I was going to ask, though.
Okay.
Is what is the most challenging part of being a teacher sponsor for First Priority?
Absolutely, that would be. Because, I mean, there's days that I just don't want to be there and I'm just
Yeah.
not in the mood, and I have to make myself get in the mood and
Yep.
I want to be a positive influence on the kids.
Yep.
There's so much
Yep.
negative. There really is.
In your club, we talk about being student led, and
Hmm.
in a middle school setting that takes on thousands of different variations. What does that look like in your club?
Um, we finally got a student leader this year, and this is cool. I tried to get him all last year. All last year. I was like, come
Mhm.
on, come to our club, come to our club. Michael reached out. I think he spoke to his youth pastor, and I talked to his mom. And finally, probably about 6 weeks into the school year, he became a leader. Oh
Mm.
my gosh, this kid just took off with it. He wants to tell me what to do. He's like, I got this, Miss Elliott. I got this. So
I
he
like it.
does everything. He does a phenomenal job. He'll pull the other kids, some of his
Okay.
friends. He's pulled them in to be leaders, and he's already asked me. He took the binder. He's like, I want to prepare for next year, so I got to get ready. I've got this guy. This. So he does a really great job. We're still in the process of trying to figure it all out, but
Yep.
he does a phenomenal job.
That's awesome. How much of the change from a small group of kids to the 30, 35 did that kid make?
I think he made a big impact because he
Yeah.
invited his friends and then they invited their friends.
Yep. They took ownership of the club?
Absolutely.
Is that what I'm
Absolutely.
hearing? Okay. What advice would you give to other teachers who might be either considering to start, have never done first priority, or maybe even a veteran out there?
Just do it. Just reach out to, like Michael, reach out to somebody and just do it because it is one of the best experiences you'll ever have. I mean, I was nervous the first time I ever did it years ago, and it was just, y'all make it so easy to do. Y'all really do.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it's a neat way to be able to touch and reach out to the kids.
Yeah.
So,
Now, Michael, in your area, Michael, for those that are listening and don't know, is the director of First Priority in Shreveport, the Arklatex region. We've got a small handful of clubs down there and continuing to network the church and to grow. We were talking beforehand. He's trying to get 3 or 4 more clubs organized and started for this fall. So he keeps going after it as well. And he does a tremendous job down in Shreveport.
He does. Actually, the leader of my group, the student leader, his mom is a teacher at another school, and so now she's wanting to start a club at her school. So that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
That's what you call a tipping point, when people start networking and just making it happen in other places.
Yeah, agreed.
So cool. Well, thank you, Lisa, for jumping on this podcast recording. Thanks for being a teacher sponsor, for caring for these kids, for giving them water. It is truly the little things in life that make the biggest difference, and you're making a big difference in the lives of teenagers. So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for having it so I can do it.